Hello, are you a Nigerian and you are passionate about your country? These are the 5 important points highlighted in the Nigerian constitution but are not taken into consideration in real life. Let me walk you through that journey now. 5 important scams in the 1999 constitution. Number 1. Supremacy of the constitution. Section 1 of the Nigerian Constitution discusses about general provision which mandates 1999 Constitution more supreme compared to any other bylaw made in the land. In today's Nigeria, there are many court cases determining setting aside a provision in the 1999 Constitution using other bylaws. For example, Section 10 says no state in the Federation should adopt religious law. In case of Sharia, it bridges the Section 10 of the Constitution because Sharia is now being adopted in 12 states in the Federation, most states in the northern region of the country. Number 2. Free education given to every citizen without ethnic prejudice. Section 18 of the 1999 Constitution discusses about educational objectives. Therein, in Article 1, it talks about government to ensure policy that provide equal, free and adequate educational opportunities to all citizens at all levels. Article 2 mandates government to promote science and technology. In Article 3, federal government shall strive to eradicate illiteracy in the country. The goal of government is to practically provide free and compulsory basic education, free secondary school education, free tertiary education, and free adult education. In contrary twist of fate, no evidence like this are enjoyed by Nigeria since 1999. In fact, education in Nigeria is nothing to write home about. The United Nations data says 1 out of 5 of out-of-school children in the world is in Nigeria. It seems citizens are losing interest in going to school. To them, school is a scam, despite the constitutional provision that back free education in Nigeria. Number 3. The fundamental human right. In the Nigerian Constitution, from Section 33 to Section 46, discuss about fundamental human rights. Basically, there are several fundamental human rights, but with our civic education knowledge, we have 7 fundamental human rights, which include right to equality, right to freedom and society, freedom of expression and opinion, freedom of marriage and to have family, freedom of privacy, freedom of movement and association, and freedom of religion. Right to equality is bridged by right to humility, especially by government officials. The Constitution gives chances for freedom of speech but doesn't account for freedom after speech. We all know that government determines our fate as a Nigerian. Section 37 of the 1999 Constitution talks about right to believe and right to disbelief. But in the case of Sharia, it is a law practiced mostly in the northern states. Apostasy is a punishable offense. This apostasy crime can lead to death. As a result of this, one can lose his life if one is found guilty. Apostasy is the act of denouncing one's religion, so it is a serious crime according to Sharia. If any individual born in Islam suddenly say he or she is not longer interested in practicing Islam anymore, and this conflicts section of the 1999 Constitution, I'm confused. Something must be wrong somewhere. Somebody is fueling lies. Please let me know in the comment section. Apostasy is a breach to human rights. Please know this now. Number 4. Provision to contest political offices and to get disqualified just in case. In 1999 Constitution, from Section 176 to 184, discuss about who can be elected as governor in Nigeria. In the same development, from Section 131 to 143, discuss about who can be elected as president of Nigeria. And from Section 65 to Section 70, discuss about who can be elected as a member of National Assembly. Therein, it is stipulated that before anyone can get into any political office in Nigeria, him or she must have attended a secondary school and get a secondary school certificate or its equivalent. Another factor is dual citizenship, either by interest or proxy. For governorship and president, such individual must be a Nigeria-born citizen. A UK-born Nigerian citizen, Bukola Saraki, who was also a former governor in Kwara State, had breached this law. Even as the incumbent president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has also been reported gotten another international passport in another country. This translates that he has sworn an oath of allegiance that he belongs to that country. Do you know you don't have to pass WAEC and NECO before you can be elected as the president of Nigeria? I mean, you don't need that 5 credit requirement to join police or force before you can be a president in Nigeria. This means an attestation from a secondary school is okay for you to contest and get yourself into a political office in Nigeria. Economic terms like GDP, fiscal policy, budget deficit might not be fully understood by science students in Nigeria secondary school except he or she develop interest. You don't even need to attend a school, you don't need certificate of attendance, just an attestation. The last but not the least, provision to impeach a sitting president. Do not let us deceive ourselves. It is practically impossible to impeach a sitting president in Nigeria considering the timeline and the procedure prescribed in the 1999 Constitution. It can take roughly 5 months before any impeachment can be achieved with several questioning and greening by competent court of law. Section 143 of the Constitution expresses how impeachment of a sitting president can take effect. A president can only be impeached on one crime tied down to gross misconduct. Gross misconduct, according to Oxford Dictionary, it is an unacceptable or improper behavior of a serious kind, especially by employee or professional. In this case, president seems to be like the employee of the people. These are 8 steps for impeaching a sitting president. 1. A note of allegation written alleging misconduct on the part of president. It must be signed by 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly in both Senate and House of Representatives. Gross misconduct is defined by the Constitution as a grave violation of the Constitution. A misconduct of such is determined by the opinion of the National Assembly member. Number 2. The Senate President must within 7 days serve the President and each member of the National Assembly with a copy of note of allegation. Step 3. The President has right to reply, and any such statement in reply to the allegation must be served to each member of the National Assembly. Step 4. Within 14 days of the presentation of note to the President, each member of the National Assembly shall resolve a motion without any debate whether or not the allegation shall be investigated. The motion needs to be passed by at least 2/3 of the majority of all members of each House of Assembly. Step 5. If the motion fails to reach the required majority, the process immediately stops and no further action will be taken. However, if the majority is obtained and the motion is passed, then the Senate President will within 7 days of this passing of motion request the Chief Justice of Nigeria to appoint a panel of 7 persons who in his opinion are of unquestionable integrity to investigate the allegation. The members of the panel cannot be a member of public service, legislative house, and political party. Step 6. The panel is to report its findings within 3 months of being appointed. The findings will be reported to each House of National Assembly. During the proceeding of the panel, the President shall have right to defend himself and shall also have the right to defend by legal practitioner of his or her choice. Step 7. Where the panel reports that the allegation has not been proven, there will be no further action. However, if the report is that the allegation against the President has been proven, the National Assembly will consider the report and the resolution for the adoption of the report shall be moved. Step 8. For the resolution to be adopted, it must be supported by not less than 2/3 majority of all members of each houses. Once adopted, the President shall stand removed from office as from the date of adoption of the report. We can now see that it is practically impossible for a sitting president to be impeached because in Nigeria, you've seen a case whereby a president had 3 Senate presidents, and this is due to power rift between both the legislative arm and the executive arm. My name is Tumishi Ajigbe. I am not a legal practitioner. I am just a concerned citizen. I never went to school to study any legal related course. Again, I am not doing this video to harm anybody. I'm just doing this video to share it to concerned Nigerians like myself that are willingly to contribute to the growth of this nation. Let us do this nation building together. I want to welcome all your opinion in the comment box. Please make sure you do that. Make sure you like my videos, you share, you comment. And thank you so much. I sincerely love you. Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan-an. Nagode, so say.